Off right now with politics. Candidates Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton spent Labor Day in the swing state of Ohio. The Democratic nominee tried to quiet critics by holding a press gaggle on her campaign's new plane. Earlier in the day, Clinton stumbled during a campaign event in Cleveland, where the nominee was forced to pause her campaign speech during a coughing fit.
I've been talking so... Every time I think about Trump, I get allergic.
Want to bring in political commentator and columnist for Newsday, Ellis Henican. Ellis, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey.
Your reaction to what we saw yesterday?
Well, in fact, I'm just getting over a cold, so I might actually have a coughing fit, if you don't mind, this morning.
Yeah.
Listen, this paranoid talk of, oh, my God, she must have lung cancer. Maybe it's the brain, too. I mean, there's a crazy stuff out on the Internet about this. There's absolutely not one whit of evidence that the woman has any serious health problems. We ought to get off that right now, shouldn't we?
I guess it didn't help her that she had the coughing fit, though, Dagan.
No, and by the way, I remember that letter that they released from her physician was a year old recently. You remember that? Talking about describing the blood clot that she had on her brain. But it's politics. Is everything not fair? Right, Ellis?
Well, I mean, listen, there'll be somebody...
Because you just repeated Internet rumors that I sure as heck wouldn't reveal.
I was shocked that you just said that.
Internet rumors since Google fixed the algorithm so that actually Hillary Clinton health problems doesn't show up when you start typing it in. But I think
that is outrageous.
The more interesting thing is surely, you know, that she finally has a session with the press yesterday. She gets a big new plane. The press are on there. They finally get, after what, 270 days or whatever it is, without a press conference, they finally get at least a few, they get like 90 seconds to ask her a question, and the questions they ask are, they pepper her with questions like, how was your summer? And how's your Labor Day going? And what kind of a day have you had today? And we really like your plane. I mean, you know, okay, it wasn't an opportunity for them to ask really tough questions about emails and the Clinton Foundation, but you think one of them at least might have had the kind of courage to say, you know, are we going to be seeing any more of you, Secretary Clinton, in the campaign than you've made yourself available so far? It was a pretty abject performance.
And to your point, I mean, this is the most favorable press corps that a candidate for president has ever had, and yet she's still unwilling to face them. She went 270 days without a press conference. She barely answered any questions on the plane. So what is she evading? What is she trying to avoid? Why won't she face the press?
Well, I guess we have one candidate who's unavailable for comment and one who's unavoidable for comment, right? I mean, that's really kind of what we're left with. Listen, I'm a journalist. I want to ask politicians questions all day long. It's my job to ask them. It's their job to try and sleaze around them or avoid them or to throw stuff up in the air that changes the conversation. I mean, isn't that just the game today? You do what's most effective for your candidacy?
So what's your take then on the conflict surrounding the Clinton Foundation and some of the specific issues that surround her while she was Secretary of State, like, for example, the sale of uranium to Russia, and then the Clinton Foundation got hundreds of millions of dollars?
Well, if the fundamental argument against the Clinton Foundation is that there's a pay-for-play problem, essentially that by giving money you get some kind of special access, I want to welcome everyone to Washington, because let me tell you, the candidates out there in every single political position in Washington, when someone gives money to a Senate campaign, Harlan, do you think that they expect greater access to that senator than the average person on the street gets? I think we need to have a grown-up conversation about it. We want to get money out of politics. Let's get money out of politics. There's a lot of ways to do that.
But, okay.
You don't hear that defense from Hillary, I mean, and in fact, what they've done is they've said, okay, there was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong while she was Secretary of State, but you know what, we're going to sort of shut the whole thing down when she's president. So in other words, things that she was able to do, that the foundation was doing while she was Secretary of State, apparently not going to be okay when she's president. How does that double standard apply? Why is it okay when she's Secretary of State, but not when she's president of the United States?
Listen, I'd be happy to defend it in either case, as long as you're doing good work. I don't mind rich people giving their money to help poor people. I think that's basically about the best thing you can expect from some politician.
But not exactly rich people helping poor people. The money was going to the Clinton Foundation, and the Clinton Foundation is not even allocating all of that money out to the people who need it. They actually made money from it. The Clintons did.
But if the argument, what do we want our ex-politicians to do, right? A lot of them become lobbyists. A lot of them run trade associations, right? The idea of going and running a charitable trust, if they're a bad charity, let's talk about maybe they should be a better charity. They're using too much money.
Here's what I want out of politicians. I want them to represent the people who appointed them to that job or who elected them to that job and not lie.
Fair
and
enough.
not lie repeatedly to the American people. Buried on Friday was the FBI report.
Yeah.
The FBI summary.
Let's hear about it,
What wasn't redacted. And the Wall Street Journal, as always, does this bang-up job of just summarizing it. She was confused on classification marking. She said that she thought it was about alphabetical ordering, and there were 40 times that she told the FBI she didn't recall or remember crucial details about her email server. And this is in the unredacted portions of this FBI report, and it just goes to, if you read through what you could read through in the FBI documents, she clearly was very skillful lawyer and knew exactly what she was doing because she was trying to avoid prosecution.
Right, so she said the C, which represented classified, she said it was ABC or something?
Yeah, although there was no A and no B.
Right.
She thought it was, but she thought a paragraph that had C in it was somehow alphabetical ordering. Yeah, look, I mean, it is. She's going to be, and as we report this morning, this is going to, for the next 2 months now to the campaign, there's a series of releases of documents, of more emails, of her calendar, various other things between now. That's just going to keep this story front and center, and it is the Clinton problem that they, you know, it's they instead of getting, you know, just coming clean and saying, you know what, I ran this email system I shouldn't have done. You know, I did things that were clearly not right. You know, it won't happen again. There's just going to be this continuous drip of more information that we're going to get over the course of the next 2 months. And the tragic thing for her is it's going to damage her more than if she'd just come clean right at the start.